Bobby Brown continually trumps the norms and sends the internet into an absolute tizzy. She doesn't party. She got engaged young, married young, bought a farm, talks about having a big family, all good things, but fan responses online are always full of spite and vitriol in today's culture. But now, her latest big news has caused a similar reaction. Her and her new husband just adopted a baby girl. And this is how they posted that announcement online. This summer, we welcomed our sweet baby girl through adoption. We are beyond excited to embark on this beautiful next chapter of parenthood in both peace and privacy. And then there were 3, Love, Millie, and Jake Bon Jovi. Wholesome, cute, not controversial, not anything but incredible and refreshing. When I first saw this news, the words that came to mind are selfless, compassionate, commendable, incredible. But naturally, every good thing the internet finds fault in. Another celeb more worried about their figure than having kids of their own. Happy for the kid getting a family. I just hope the child isn't used later to push political ideologies like we have seen other celebs do, dressing them up as opposite sex, etc. In no way does this scream to me that she cares more about her figure than having kids. She talks about wanting a huge family. And she has never said, not once, that she doesn't want to have her own babies. Even if she didn't, that's okay. But she hasn't said that. She just happened to adopt first. Imagine adopting a child at 21. You don't want to give birth? Everyone's like, you don't want to give birth. What happened to the concept of pregnancy? She's not saying anything against pregnancy. People just fill gaps with their own thoughts, even when they're not true. Honestly, the response online was just crazy, especially against adoption in particular. There's a lot of women vilifying mothers who adopt and saying that they're actually doing that out of spite of the birth mothers and it was the weirdest dialogue happening online, which one woman responded to in this TikTok and just made like a joke about the whole thing. When I see someone hating on Millie Bobby Brown just because she adopted a child.
I guess I'm not woke, okay? Fine, you win with your gay stuff. That's what you want, right? To win.
The caption was like, when did adoption become demonized? It's a great question. And why? That in itself is appalling. The comments under that video, thankfully, though, were much more rational and good. God forbid a child star spend her money on saving animals and giving a child a loving home. Because we're in an era of hating children and mothers for some reason, LMAO. I mean, it's not funny. It's horrific because, unfortunately, that is true. And you see it through moments like this where it should just be everyone smiling and happy. But no. Someone responded to that question and said people are so chronically online that they genuinely think adopted kids are all taken from their birth parents by force or will be abused mercilessly by their adopted parents. And the creator responded to that and said, right, like maybe it's time to put down the phones, go outside because this is getting out of hand. I mean, that's what this whole show is. We just show how things are getting out of hand all of the time, unfortunately. They are a beautiful, young, happy couple, and they clearly have the resources to give this baby an incredible, happy, healthy life. I assume they're going to feed the baby many, many good, nutritious foods. Speaking of nutrition, let's talk about balance of nature for a second. Even when we are trying our best, most of us are not getting enough variety of fruits, vegetables, and fiber into our diet. In fact, over 90% of Americans don't meet the recommended fiber intake. That is where balance of nature comes in. Their fruit supplement is packed with mango, pineapple, wild blueberries, banana, and more. And their veggie supplement has powerhouse ingredients like kale, spinach, broccoli, and even shiitake mushrooms. They also have a fiber and spice blend that combines 12 spices with 4 whole fibers. I love taking my balance of nature to make sure I am getting that fiber and that nutrition into my body every single day to stay healthy. Sometimes, honestly, the simplest, most convenient solutions actually make the biggest difference in how you feel every single day. So if you guys want to try Balance of Nature for yourself, you can go to balanceofnature.com and use promo code Conrad for 35% off your first order as a preferred customer. Plus, you'll get a free bottle of fiber and spice. That's balanceofnature.com, promo code Conrad today. But I also saw this one kind of thread happening in the comment sections that I wanted to call out because it was bogus. Because I saw a lot of comments specifically under that original pop-based tweet that made the announcement. It had 35 million impressions. It was huge. But the top comments under that video were of a lot of people calling out the fact that there were other comments from pro-lifers and conservatives upset at that news. Which I saw that and then immediately read through as many comments as I possibly could to find who was saying that. Because that doesn't track at all. Shockingly, though, they lied. It was misleading, which I am not surprised about. I even tweeted out and asked, hey, are there people in the pro-life or conservative movement that are openly being hateful and spiteful against Millie Bobby Brown for this news? Because it really just shocked me because, again, it's not in line with anything that we believe. And sure enough, people were like, no. Which, again, not surprised. These were the comments of what people were trying to say. It's hilarious how the anti-abortion crowd trips over people adopting. Shouldn't y'all be promoting adoption? Yes, and we do. Stop assuming everyone that adopts has fertility issues. Some people just don't want to add to the world when there's so many kids in the system that need love and a family. I did not see a single conservative pro-lifer being hateful against this news or being unsupportive of it. Not one. So maybe there are some somewhere deep in these comment sections. I couldn't find a single one. Because again, it doesn't make sense. This is another top comment, again, under that big tweet. Comment section is wild. How are conservatives pro-life but also anti-adoption? I wanted to call this out because so many people who just visited that tweet would have seen those comments and been like, oh, the conservatives, we weren't saying that. No one was saying that. And some people then started commenting under those comments being like, hey, where are the conservatives actually saying this? Because you guys are saying this. These tweets are getting 30,000 likes, but we're not finding any evidence of it. Another person in that same vein said, not seeing the comments you're referring to somehow, but I am pro-life and think this is awesome. Happy for them and think it's awesome that a child's right to life was honored. Exactly. Those were the only conservative pro-lifers I was finding in the comments. And again, everyone was supporting this. Popularizing adoption is an incredible thing, especially in the wake of post-Roe, when women are really being encouraged to have their babies, to give them a chance at life. That doesn't mean they have to keep them, but they give birth to them and then they have a chance at life being raised by someone else. That is a good thing. I always say when people talk about abortion, it's like, well, what about adoption? It's the clear other choice that you don't have to raise the baby. I see so many women online, well, I don't have the right circumstances to raise a child and they'll be a poor child if I have to raise them. So that's why I'm having an abortion. I see the argument all of the time. And my immediate response to that is always like, well, what about adoption? There are millions of families who want to adopt. And I'm not kidding. 1 to 2 million families in the US waiting to adopt a child right now. So they are willing participants. But because abortion has become so huge, they don't have the children to adopt. Way more families want to adopt than there are kids to adopt. Think about that. That's a crazy stat. So it is so encouraging to see a young woman like Millie adopting. It also reminded me of this other video that I'd just seen about another young couple who decided to adopt. And I wanted to play this video because this one just warmed my heart so much that I just wanted you guys to see it. This girl's name is Victoria, and she just seems absolutely lovely. And this is just the most freaking precious video I've ever seen. This is her meeting her baby for the first time. And she just learned, I believe within 24 hours, that there was a baby that, if she says yes, it's hers, and she goes and she meets the baby, and that's what happened. So this is all like very quick in real time. And then this is her meeting the baby and her husband.
Get closer, Mama. You can come over and get closer to her. I can let you hold her for a second and then I have to put her back on the legs, but this is pretty important moment right now.
Sorry, the nurse is being loud.
Hi, I know. Say, I like snuggles.
And the baby just stops crying.
Oh my goodness. She's been having a rough morning and that's the calmest she's been.
A little kissy?
Absolutely.
She's yours?
She's gonna be yours. She's yours.
How about you, Pop?
I've watched that video too many times. It's just so cute. I'm about to read a hateful comment and I just need to take a second because that is good. That is goodness. That is precious and should be celebrated. A lot of people are saying, yay, this needs to be talked about more. This needs to be shown more. This is great. But then there were also a lot of people like this. Again, just similar to Millie's conversation. But one girl said, I feel sad for her first mom. And that was a very common sentiment. Well, what about the birth mom? How dare you take her? As if it's not her choice as the birth mom. They're not forced into adoption. That's not how that works. And Victoria commented under that to kind of clear the air because there was enough people asking that question and talking about it that she made it very clear what happened. Her birth mom was in a place where she could not give her the life she knows she deserves. She did an incredibly courageous thing by choosing us to adopt her baby. We're humbled she chose us and will always speak of her with love and honor. She didn't give up. She gave everything. What a good line. She didn't give up. She didn't choose abortion. She gave the baby away. Gave it to a willing family. Haven will always know she is so loved by her birth mom for the selfless decision she made and loved by us. It's a selfless and courageous act by all parties here. And what is most important here is that these little babies were given the chance at life. The news about a young public Gen Zer adoption like Millie is huge news, frankly, because Hollywood figures continually serve as a normalization mechanism for society, often for bad things. So this is a huge win because it can finally have a positive impact on a generation. Thanks so much for watching today's episode. If you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video if you enjoyed it. For other content, you can also follow me on Instagram and X, as well as our brand new comment section Instagram. I'll see you guys in the next episode.